a classic Universal monster movie, but made by Fox. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back to the horror checklist. We are on to our second week. I don't know what day it is anymore. There's so many of these videos. I don't remember, but I'm having a blast making them. It's so much fun to watch just, movies that I probably never would have watched any other way. But today we are going to be watching The Alligator People. It stars Lon Chaney. Well, I don't think it really stars. It has a cameo-ish appearance from the one, the only Lon Chaney, who will coincidentally be popping back up in this Sunday's 1001 checklist with the Wolfman, so get ready for that. It's fun and exciting. As you probably noticed from the very beginning of this video, this is kind of like a Universal monster movie, but it's not made by Universal, it's made by 20th Century Fox, which doesn't really matter, but it definitely has a lot of the tropes that you would normally see in a Universal monster movie. And these old Universal monster movies really fascinate me, but that is like a whole big old topic for probably either Sunday's video or maybe another video. I don't know. It's a big discussion that I probably need to research a little bit more than what I have. But what makes this like a Universal monster movie is a lot of the tropes that show up throughout the film. Things like the sort of helpless damsel in distress lead female character that shows up in a lot of movies from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. A guide-like character, in this case played by Lon Chaney. This guide character either warns or leads the main character through the plot of the film, or gives them some advice going through it. A creepy old house or location a la Scooby-Doo, even though he wasn't around for another couple dozen years. Some kind of mad scientist or doctor the monster falls in love with or is already in love with the helpless damsel lead female character. And of course, some kind of prosthetic or makeup that transforms the actor from their human form to their monster form. In this film, it is pretty decent, but you do definitely notice the silicone plasticky look of a lot of the makeup, especially on the main alligator person. They're pretty decent for the time, but when you're watching it on a bigger screen, you can definitely tell the folds in the silicone and the makeup. It's really only for today's standards. I mentioned that there was a guide-like character that usually leads the lead character through the plot of the film. And in this case, it is Lon Chaney's character. I thought that he was going to be the guide, the person leading the main character, and in this case, Joyce, through the film. He was that for quite a bit, but there is this weird random like 180-degree turn that he does that really surprised me, because I thought that it was going to be the mad scientist or doctor, even though the doctor slash mad scientist isn't really crazy. He is just doing some experiments that, I mean, they are kind of crazy experiments, but he doesn't hurt or harm the lead character in any way besides making her husband into an alligator man, but that came before Joyce. But anyways, Lon Chaney's character is a really bad person. He tries to rape her, and it's very strange because, especially like knowing Lon Chaney as these lovable Universal monsters, because I mean they're monsters, but this is like a different kind of monster than those monsters are, because none of those monsters will save a girl and then try to rape her as thanks for it, which, no, that's not a good idea ever in any century. And then finally, the last thing I really want to touch on this is the way this film is told. It is told in flashbacks, which is kind of interesting. We don't usually get something like that in a lot of these kind of horror movies. It flips back and forth between Joyce's flashbacks and then her telling the doctors the story. It builds up suspense of certain points, like what is on Paul's telegram, which it takes a while for it to get to that, but it's good because your suspense is built up throughout and you don't necessarily know or remember, but once it gets to that, you're like, oh yeah, I remember I was supposed to be thinking about Paul's telegram and why he left her. What is happening at the cypresses plantation? Why is Lon Chaney's character taking a big box of radioactive material there? And why did Joyce sit on it if it's radioactive when she gets to the train station? Crazy. And then what happens to make her forget everything? Their explanation for this at the very end, it's not like ironclad. She forgets everything out of shock. I was like, okay, maybe. It didn't wrap up as nicely as it probably could have, but hey.
That's just a theory. A film theory.
It's a movie made in 1950, 60, don't remember. I forgive them. It had a pretty solid storytelling for the most part. There is one thing though about this flashing back of the storytelling that just didn't sit right with me, and it is when the story leaves Joyce's point of view and goes to follow Paul's mother or the doctor, well, both of them together, or Paul talking to the doctor. Any character that Joyce is not there for, their story, it doesn't make a lot of sense. How is Joyce going to be telling the doctors this part of the story if she wasn't there? I don't think anywhere throughout the rest of the movie before she gets put into shock that she would have gotten this information from anybody else. It just didn't make a little bit of sense, or a little bit didn't make a lot of sense. Like, how is she able to tell the doctors what's happening? I don't know. I guess that's just a thing that the filmmakers with the movie wanted us to not think about. But that is The Alligator, people. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys will watch it because it is a fun movie. I love these kind of old horror movies. They make you feel all nice and cozy inside. If you do want to purchase this, there is a link to an Amazon affiliate link in the description. If you purchase it from that link, I get a small percentage back to help make this channel even better. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I have talk on things, movies, TV shows, filmmaking, mystery, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.